And welcome to class, everybody. Here we go. We are starting at number 6. Everybody is prepped and ready to go. Everybody knows that the tangent of a plus b, that pi is going to become 180. Duh, not 90 or anything crazy like that. It's going to be 180. So I'm going to do this for the first property. So it's really tangent of x plus pi, but that's going to be tangent a plus b. So that's going to be tangent x plus tangent 180 all over 1 minus tangent x tangent 180. Huh. But now I bust out my note card and I say, hey, what's the tangent of 180? Well, looky there. It's 0. This is 0. This is 0. And yippee skippy, that first part before the minus sign becomes tangent x over 1. Why not just put the 1 there just in case we get a fraction on the next one? Okay, now it's going to be minus cosine, but this time the angle is pi over 2, which everybody knows is 90. Please. Okay, that's like elementary. So now I'm going to use the cosine a plus b, and I would tell you which property that was. I would say use property 2, okay? And so property 2 cranks this baby out like this. So it's cosine x cosine 90, because that's pi over 2, duh, minus sine x sine 90. Yay. Okay. And the whole thing equals 0, but I just don't have room right now. So hopefully one of these guys is also 0. What would be 0? Is the cosine of 90 0? Well, yippee skippy, this is 0. Okay, and then what is the sine of 90? Oh yeah, the sine of 90 is 1. Okay, so it's really going to be, you ready for this? Tangent x minus, and then it's going to be 0 minus sine x, like that. Hello. So that's really tangent x plus sine x, and now I can finally put the 0 over there. Okay. I can't just get one word. I don't know. I can't. Like, I can't square it. I can't do anything. So then I reverted back when I was doing my answer key, oh so carefully. And I was just like, well, let's just go back to day 1 of doing proofs where I said, make this sine over cosine, and then this is going to be sine over 1, and that's equaling 0. So I was cool with that. And then I thought about getting a common denominator, but then I thought again, no, I'm just going to factor out a sine. So it'd be 1 over cosine plus 1 equals 0. Now I can split this baby up. Sine x equals 0, and 1 over cosine x equals negative 1. I went ahead and moved the negative over. You get that? Okay, so then what is the sine of 0? Can we get some answers there in green? Let's see. X equals, and then I bust out my calculator or my note card, and I look and I see it at 0, 180, and 360. 0, 180, 360. That's cool, but now I don't know what to do with these guys. Well, I'm going to swap these guys. So it's going to be negative 1 equals cosine x. And then that means over here, x equals, and then I'm looking for negative 1 in the cosine column, and I see that as 180. I can write the 180 again, but it's, you know, it's just kind of there. Okay. Wow. That was fun. And by fun, I mean, yeah, it's great to start. We even had a little extra time there at the beginning of class just to stretch and get ready, didn't we? Because everybody can see the time is 8:25, which means, yeah. Okay, flip over. Here we go. Number 7. What are we doing with number 7? I don't know, but I see a lot of cosines, so that makes me feel good. Okay, a whole bunch of cosines makes me feel good. So, because I don't have to convert or anything crazy like that. But on this problem, it has a 2 theta, and that doesn't match theta. So that means I got to look at my little sheet, and I'm like, dang, is there one that talks about a double angle? Well, yes, there is. There's one called the double angle identities. Okay. But for cosine 2 theta, there's 3 choices, 8, 9, or 10. Crud. Well, I want the one that only uses cosine. So property 10 is the right one. I'm not going to make you think that through on the quiz, test, whatever we have next Tuesday. I'm going to tell you, use property 10. Okay? So here goes. So it's going to be 3, and then in parentheses, 2 cosine squared minus 1. And then I'm going to subtract 2 cosine squared over, okay, from the right. I'm going to move it over to the left. And then that's going to be minus 4 cosine squared. And then I'm going to add 7 to negative 5 and get plus 2 equals 0. In other words, I moved everything over. I pushed everything over to the left. Now, I think I can go ahead and distribute. 6 cosine squared minus 3 minus 4 cosine squared plus 2 equals 0. And then I can combine like terms, and I get 2 cosine squared, and then I can combine these puppies, minus 1 equals 0. And then I can move the 1 over and divide by 2 and get cosine squared theta equals 1/2. And then I got to do the square root. So cosine theta equals the square root of 1, which is 1, and the square root of 2, which is the square root of 2. But then I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go and like that. And then I'm going to do square root of 2 over 2. But wait, it was cosine squared. So I got to put plus or minus. So I got to do a plus or minus here because it was cosine squared. And then I bust out my note card. I'm looking for plus or minus square root of 2 over 2 in the cosine column. I notice it at 45 and at 135 and at 225 and at 315. Yippee. I like that one. That would be a very fair question. I would tell you which property to use. Use property 10, and you guys could roll through that one pretty good. I like that one a lot. I'm going to put a star by it. There was another one that I really liked yesterday, didn't I? I like number 1 for sure. And I told you there's going to be a question like number, which one did we have to square the whole thing to start off? Number 3. Yeah, number 3. There'll be one like that for sure. But then there's also going to be easy stuff like from our last set of notes. There's also going to be easy stuff like from our last set of notes. So don't freak out too much. Okay, let's roll. That was question number whatever, 7. Gosh, okay, let's do it. Okay, how do I feel about question number 8? Not too great. And here's why. There's sines and cosines, and there's a 2x. What? Okay, we'll try to do it. Here we go. So I would say use property 7, okay? Because that sine 2x has to change. So on number 8, you're going to start off with a 2 and then a 2 sine cosine, like that. And then you got another 2 sine. And then I'm going to move everything over to the left because that worked last time. So minus 2 cosine, and then minus 1. And that equals 0. Okay, let's try to clean that up just a little. That's 4 sine cosine plus 2 sine minus 2 cosine minus 1 equals 0. Well, that didn't help at all. You don't distribute this. Oh, no, no, no. You know why? Because that's one term. That's one term. You don't distribute it. I should have written that in red, but I didn't. Okay. I can't factor it because there's 4 terms. Oh, wait. There's 4 terms. And we learned a method of factoring a while back whenever there were 4 terms. And it starts with a G, rhymes with ooping, grouping. Let's see if I can do that. Can I do something with these 2 and then something with these 2 and hopefully stuff matches up? I don't know, but I'm thinking it's going to happen because this is a book problem, which means there was some thought put into it before they did it. Okay, so let's take out a 2 and a sine, right? And that's going to leave me a 2 and a cosine and a plus 1. Now what? Take out a negative 1, and that's going to leave me a 2 and a cosine and a plus 1. Oh, yippee skippy. So then it's 2 sine minus 1, and then 2 cosine plus 1 equals 0. I love that. Love that. And then we got 2 equations. So we got 2 sine x equals 1. So that means sine x equals a half. I don't know what's going on with that too. And then this guy's going to be 2 cosine equals negative 1. So then cosine x equals negative a half. Well, yay. Let's do it now. I just did it. Like, we're done, aren't we? Sine a half, 30 and 150. I love that. And now let's do cosine negative a half, which happens at 120 and 240. How'd you like that one? What's that? Everybody's in agreement that that was awesome? I'm glad we're all on the same page. Way to go. Congratulations. I didn't bring a coffee cup with me today because Mr. Shipley, young Mr. Shipley, his life skills class, they're trying to like raise some money just so that they can buy more stuff for it because they have a class that's called life skills. Well, they're selling coffee today. So I ordered a coffee on a Google form, but I don't know when it's going to be delivered. Don't worry. All that means is this morning, while staring at Mindy the Wonder Dog, I just drank my coffee at home a little faster. I didn't bring any with me. So there might be coffee delivered sometime soon. Not for you. I didn't start drinking coffee until I was 50. So you guys got some time. And I thought to myself, 50 is a good age to start drinking coffee. That was the number. Let's just go with that, 50. My wife doesn't drink it, so I can buy a box of them. pods. But you know what I did instead? I bought ground up. I bought coffee grounds. And it's nice. Colombian coffee is amazing. Are we ready to move on? What number was that? I don't even remember. That was number 8, right? Okay, so some of these problems, no joke, were like next to impossible. So maybe we won't do number 11 because my notes for number 11 were insane. There must have been an easier way to do that one. I do like number 12 though, and I do like number 9. So maybe we'll do number 9 and number 12. Yeah, and be done. I do like 9 and 12. Let's do it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Number 9. Okay, tangent y over 2. Well, I look on my property sheet for tangent theta over 2, and great, there's 3 of them. Hopefully, I choose correctly. I'm going to pick number 15. And I will tell you which property so you don't have to play the guessing game because that's terrible. What if I would have picked the wrong one and I would have started the problem and it didn't work out and I had to erase everything? Not that you've ever been there before, but let's do it. So let's try property 15, which says 1 minus cosine over sine. 1 minus cosine over sine. Okay. Do you notice how it says cosine theta? It doesn't say theta over 2. You get that? So whatever the angle is, you double it, and that's what goes after cosine. So it's going to be 1 minus cosine y, because it used to be y over 2, but I doubled it, all over sine y. And then I'm going to move the 5 sine over, so it's going to be minus sine y over 1. Okay, let's see if I can do that. So now I'm going to multiply this puppy just to get a common denominator. Oops. And then we'll see what happens. So it's going to be 1 minus cosine minus sine squared all over sine. One of these things is not like the others. Equals 0. I wish that I could split it up, but I can't. So I'm going to get rid of this puppy. I'm going to multiply by sine and say, bye sine. It's legal. I'm going to say bye sine. So then it's going to be 1 minus cosine minus, but then sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. So sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared. That was one of those Pythagorean properties. Equals 0. So let's clean it up. Cosine squared minus cosine. Oh, the ones go away. Okay, equals 0. So now let's factor out a cosine, and let's go from there. So cosine, and then cosine minus 1 equals 0, and then split it up. Cosine theta equals 0. Cosine theta, or whatever, equals 1. And then just look on your note card for 0 and 1. So it happens at 0 and 90 and 270, 0 and 90 and 270 and 360. Did I miss any? Double check me there. Double checkmate me there. I don't think I did. Did I? No. Cool. I like that. This is kind of a little cheat right there, cross multiplying by the sign. something that you probably weren't thinking about doing. You were probably thinking about splitting it up into 3 different, but that doesn't work. Yay, 1 more. Hallelujah. I really think we're almost done with this chapter 2 also. Close. And then maybe we'll start talking about limits or something cool. Maybe we'll even do some calc. Maybe we'll do some derivatives. Derivatives are fun. Like if I said, hey, what's the derivative of 2x squared? You would say, duh, it's 4x. It's easy. You ready? You wanna figure out how I did it? Hey, what's the derivative of 3x squared? Well, that answer is 6x. You multiply this times that, and then you reduce the power by 1. How about that? You guys could do that. I mean, that's not all of it, but that's just an intro. Okay, last one, I promise. Number 12, on a Friday, because I'm waiting for my coffee. Why did I like this problem? Oh, because of the 5 and the 7, and I had no clue what to do. So I was like, I better look at my sheet. And then I looked at my sheet and I saw that this was a cosine plus a cosine. And a cosine plus a cosine is property number 25. Property 25, which says, so number 12, which says 2 and a cosine, add the angles together and divide by 2, and then multiply by the cosine, subtract those properties, and divide by 2. And that equals 0, but I can't do that right now because I write too big. So it's 2 cosine 6a times cosine a negative a. But everybody knows that cosine of negative a is the same thing as the cosine of a. Yay. Oh, equals 0. Equals 0. Okay, here we go. Split it up. You're allowed to split it up because there really are parentheses like here and here. Okay, so it's going to be 2 cos 6a equals 0 and cos a equals 0. So I can figure out cosine of 0 real quick. So cosine of 0 happens at 90 and 270. So this puppy is 90 and 270. And then let's do the left side. Divide by 2, cosine 6a equals 0. And then do the inverse cosine of 0. So it's going to be 6a equals, and now I'm looking for cosine of 0, and it happens at, again, 90 and 270. And now I got to bust out a calculator. 90 divided by 6 is like 15. 270 divided by 6 is 45. That was about as much excitement as I could handle. That's all I'm saying. And it's a 25-minute video, which is probably peak distance. That's great. That's great. I say to all of my seniors and people that are just skipping because of volleyball, good day.